Let's make some noise. Come on.
Oh, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another riveting episode of The Final Word with Matty B here on the It's a Rap Sports Network, which boy Matty B on the call on this Monday night. Yes, the Monday after, the day after. We've had about 24 hours now to let it all sink in, and it's actually been somewhat of a riveting day for me, and I'm going to recount with you some of the things that I've seen and heard today. Absolutely stunning stuff that has sort of kind of belled up to the surface pending or after the Eagle loss yesterday to the San Francisco 49ers, not effectively, but yes, eliminating them from any sort of contention to repeat as Super Bowl champions in this 2025-26 NFL season. And obviously, as the title of this show indicates, oh, Jalen, my Jalen, referring to the much embattled quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. And we're going to get into some Jalen Hurts tonight, and I'm not going to do the same old tired as Jalen Hurts elite quarterback. That's not what I'm going down this. I'm not going down that road tonight. I'm not. I'm going down the road. Is Jalen Hurts the answer for the Philadelphia Eagles? That's the road I'm going down. And not because he's not because he is or he's not an elite quarterback. That's not what the source document here tonight is. It's whether or not he's the right guy here. And going forward, when there's some decisions on players to be made, some decisions on young players to be made financially, is Jalen Hurts an expense that this football team should continue to incur? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to bring up the future of your head coach. A lot of Nick Sirianni hate today from some unlikely sources too. You know, some of the homers flipping sides. It was actually kind of funny to see all year long. I take it from a lot of people. And all year long, I got to hear some of the crappiest, watered-down takes on homerism. But today, some of them flipped. And I'm hearing from King Homer himself, Anthony Gargano. He wants to fire Nick Sirianni. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I'm amazed that all of a sudden, when the lights come on, the cockroaches go a-scattering, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I have yet to hear from any of my Homer colleagues here on the It's a Rap Sports Network. None of them have come on or informed me that they want to talk or they want to debate or they want to defend their idiotic takes about the Philadelphia Eagles in 2025. So, yes, the victory lap does continue here tonight on The Final Word with MattyB. And, yeah, it is. It's a victory lap. I'm not going to be a damn hypocrite about it and say it's not. It's an empowerment moment for me. Because, once again, I was right about everything. Now, what the Eagles do going forward, that's the answer that we're all waiting to see. Hopefully, it's Liberation Day. Hopefully, yesterday will live in infamy in Eagles history as Liberation Day. The day that we decided, or the Eagles decided, that Nick Sirianni is not the future of this team. That Jalen Hurts is not the future of this team. And God willing, I'll be doing a dance. I'll be doing the mummer strut down Broad Street if they decide to do the trifecta and get rid of that fraud-ass Howie Roseman along with the other two. Was yesterday my Liberation Day from the current tyrannical grip of the regime that holds the Philadelphia Eagles captive. So we're going to continue that today. A battle was won in the war to liberate the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday against the San Francisco 49ers. So that's obviously what's going to be the main topic. No news coming out of Citizen Bank Way about the impending contract of Bo Bichette. I know a lot of people were waiting for that today. They were holding on to that as their only bit of good news. Does no news mean good news? But nothing so far. If it breaks, we'll let you know. Flyers are at it again tonight against the Lightning, and it's the same old thing. Trailing 4-1, about 16 minutes remaining in the third period. Same chippy game tonight. I'm watching a fight break out right now. But once again, lack of offense from the Flyers. Ooh, man. 2 fights at the same time. I haven't seen that in a while. Whoa. There we go. That's it. You got, I know I got Abus fighting on one side, and who the hell is 29? He's got some Scott Hartnell hair. Who the hell? Who's 29? Oh, is that, what's his face? Gurbenkin? Yeah, okay. And Gurbenkin fighting on the other side. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Good old-fashioned hockey fight tonight. Love the chippiness of the Flyers, but it's not helping their offense at all. It's 4-1 now. 16 minutes or so to go here in the third period. But we'll talk Flyers. And following me at some point, when this game goes final, you'll have the Clear the Ice with Mike Laro. And then Mike will have it on Wednesday against the Sabres. I will be back Thursday and Saturday against the Penguins and Rangers, respectively, on the program. So we'll talk some Flyers. Actually, I'm probably not going to talk Flyers tonight because you're going to get the post game here in a little bit. But that's what's coming up on the program tonight. Hey, Adam, how are you tonight? Good to see you. Joe Hale's checking in. Joe, how are you? Can you open the phone lines? I will. Tonight is one of those compressed nights. I don't have post game tonight, but there is a post game, so I'm going to have to try to walk this show as fast as I can because I don't want to step all over Mike in the post game. But yeah, I think we'll open up some phone lines. I think we'll do that. We don't have a schedule yet for the week. I will have one tonight later on once the Steelers and Texans game kind of works itself out. I'll find out, obviously, if there's going to be a Steel City Sunday next week or not. So that's what I'm kind of waiting on right now. So there will be a schedule coming out a little bit later tonight, but wait for bated breath for that. So, but yeah, not good fight, man. I like that. Once again, though, the Flyers are sort of hindered by lack of offense, and Dan Vladar, you're getting the best you can out of them. The Flyers just don't have a starting goalie. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Yeah, that was that was an elbow by Abus. Man, that was bad. We're against the boards. All right. Back to the show. Watching a hockey game here. And can I do the card review? I will try. Joe. I'm working on it, man. And if I can fit it, I will. It's sitting right here. It's been sitting here for the last 4 nights. So, and I do want to do it, so I want to put it away. I don't want. I keep staring at it. I spent the most of my day today taking 2026 baseball rules tests for both the NCAA, the Federation, which is the high school level, and the NAIA, which is a college level that's a little bit lower than the NCAA. So I've spent my day just rule after rule, scenario after scenario. I did it for like 7 hours, and I still have one more to finish. Freaking man, I haven't done this much reading in a long time. But that's the life of an umpire as we get ready for the upcoming baseball season. But anyway, let's and then we got our day in Philadelphia sports history. And yes, as Joe Hale mentioned, we'll try to get the card review in. We will not do of the night segment tonight because there's probably not going to be time for that. So let's kick it off as we do always on the program with your day in Philadelphia sports history. Today, January the 12th, 1994, garnering 95.6% of the vote, Steve Carlton gained acceptance into the Baseball Hall of Fame. The Phillies' most prolific hurler, lefty, retired from baseball with 329 wins, 4,136 strikeouts, second only to Nolan Ryan at that time. The most Cy Young Awards, 4 than any other player in history, is currently tied with Greg Maddox and bested by Randy Johnson's 5 and Roger Clemens' 7. Again, this were numbers back in the 80s. Given the honor is voted by the Baseball Writers Association of America, Carlton, who shunned the press for the final 10 years of his career, was a bit surprised by his landslide selection. There's no doubting Steve Carlton's place among the best pitchers of the game. And it's really an era of baseball that's forgotten about. It's slowly being forgotten about as we get older. I mean, that's the era of Phillies baseball I grew up with. Being a fan of a team that had 2 future Hall of Famers on it, Mike Schmidt and Steve Carlton. I mean, you don't know how blessed that is. Now, we do have an opportunity here in about a week to find out, are we going to have another duo and former Philly teammates going into the Hall of Fame? As the class of 26 will be announced next week. Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley are, of course, on the ballot. I hear Chase has got a shot. I haven't heard too much on Jimmy, but I hear that Chase has got a legit shot at getting in. So we'll find that out next week. But Steve Carlton was, and in my opinion, still is the greatest left-hander of all time. Now, if you ever watch some old Steve Carlton footage, it's funny because for those of you that don't know, baseball has changed over the years. Yeah, I know I'm breaking some news here. And Steve Carlton had one of the best pickoff moves of the day in baseball. He did. He had one of the greatest pickoff moves ever. But of course, if you look at that pickoff move and you just sort of study it, it's so bad in terms of it's so illegal. It's just, how does a runner even have a chance with him on base? I mean, they changed it around 94s where you had to come to that complete stop before you made any other move. Steve Carlton was a master at the quick pickoff over the first, and obviously the body positioning or his foot, was it pointing towards home plate? Was it pointing towards first? It's kind of in like Switzerland in between all the time. He never came to a complete stop. Of course, that was legal back then. Most pitchers didn't do it. That's why I have a lot of respect for a Ricky Henderson or a Vince Coleman, base stealers of that era. You know how hard it is to steal off of a pitcher when there's really no clear indication of when he's going to pick off? Nowadays, you know exactly when a pickoff move is going to happen because you can see the mechanics of it. If there's certain things that don't happen, just go anyway because there's going to be a balk, right? But back then in the 80s, it wasn't so clear cut. There was a lot of gray when it came to the pickoff move. And to be able to master being able to steal off those guys, truly astonishing. And I think that's lost on this generation. I think it's lost on how hard it was. And Steve Carlton had a great move, man, but it was highly illegal. Highly illegal. Matter of fact, he might have been one of the reasons why they changed it. Because it was so illegal. But 95.6% of the vote. Mike Schmidt, I believe, got in with about 97% of the vote. Why aren't they getting 100%? Who's not voting for them? I mean, what one or two writers decided not to vote for Steve Carlton or vote for Mike Schmidt? I mean, come on, man. What the hell? What are we doing? You're talking about the best left-handed pitcher in the game and the best third baseman ever played the game, and they didn't get 100% of the vote. I don't think no one ever gets 100% of the vote, honestly. Is there somebody just not voting just to be different? There couldn't have been anybody that really, truly didn't believe that they deserved, or Steve Carlton did not deserve, admission into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And then, of course, a year later, in 1995, Richie Ashburn with the Veterans Committee and Mike Schmidt were elected into the Hall of Fame. So it was a fun time in Central New York for back-to-back summers when it came to honoring Philadelphia Philly greats. And hopefully here in the summer of 2026, we have that opportunity with Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins. And a couple other Phillies that are on the ballot, but I would think Utley is probably the biggest favorite right now to hopefully get in. So there's your day in Philadelphia sports history. Steve Carlton elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And that little segment was brought to you by the folks here at the network. Creators of such programming as the Philly AM Sports Show with Big Mike and Big Al every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Sunday can't come faster for me right now. I definitely want to see what's the proverbial winds coming out of Big Al's mouth as it pertains to your fighting Eagles. I was going to say fighting Phillies, so I'm still on the Phillies, but your Eagles. What new products is Big Al's Excuse Emporium going to be sending out for the postseason 2026 of the Eagles? What new stuff is awaiting customers at Big Al's Excuse Emporium after Sunday's loss to the San Francisco 49ers? I want to hear about the wind conditions. I want to hear about the emotional stress it was after the argument between A.J. Brown and Nick Sirianni for professionalism. By the way, we're going to talk A.J. Brown because I find it very interesting now that we've had 24 hours to dissect all this. I definitely want to see what new items are for sale at Big Al's Excuse Emporium. So Sunday morning cannot come quick enough for me. I'll be watching. You know it. But I won't interact. No, I don't do that. I don't interact with the other shows. I leave them alone. But yeah, the Philly AM Sports Show. All right, so 24 hours later, I've heard it all. First and foremost, I want to thank and I want to send out a special MattyB salute to all the homers I shouldn't say all the homers, but to all the people out there that held the line. You know who you are. All the people out there that were not taken over by the mass hysteria that was the fraudulent 25 Philadelphia Eagles. So all the people that stood their ground and said, this don't look right, right? This doesn't look right. It all started in the offseason. This doesn't look right. What are you doing? We're doing nothing. First of all, we really didn't do anything with the offense in the offseason. So essentially they were saying, we're hoping that Saquon Barkley can replicate 2024. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. And we talked about it way back then. But for all those that held the line and did not get swept up by the homer propaganda, by the nonsense, by people that are spewing this crap on the airwaves daily, that said, you know what? You don't want to call me an Eagles fan because I don't like this. You don't want to call me an Eagles fan because this doesn't look right. Then screw you. So I'm going to send a special message to them. Thank you. Right? From your leader. I know it's hard. I know it's very hard to stand in opposition. But we saw it for what it was at the very beginning. It was a missed opportunity, and now we're dealing with it. Right? And to all the homers out there, who the majority of you have run scared into the night. The majority of you have gone underground. The majority of you are cupping your ears and humming because you don't want to, I don't hear you, I don't hear you. The majority of you have done that. Shame on you. I said it last night. I'm going to say it again. It's time to take the medicine, man. It's time to pull your pants down and take your medicine. That's what men do, right? Now, there are some homers that have stood up and been accounted for, and I do appreciate that. There's also homers out there that have completely flipped sides and are now on the side of virtue and honor and right and good by requesting, yet demanding, the termination of the head coach, Nick Sirianni. And, of course, Kevin Petullo, which no big deal. And there's been a rising message or rising voice against the removal of Jalen Hurts, which, of course, we're going to talk about tonight. So I just wanted to get that PSA out of the way because I know it's hard, no matter what side of this aisle you stand on. I know it's hard. And victory is ours today. Today is it's a win. It's a win for the eventual liberation of this franchise from the grip of tyranny. And I want to applaud everybody out there that held the line. That's from your boy MattyB. That's from the heart. That's from the pits of my black heart. Good job, everybody. I will. Give me a minute, man. Let me talk. God damn, Joe. Acting like the goddamn GM around here, telling me to open up the phone lines. All right, let's open them up. Let's get them going. Phone lines are now open. The link should be shooting into your chat rooms right now. If you want to get on board and you want to talk with me, let's do it. You want to talk about Flyers, Eagles, Sixers? Well, talk about the Sixers all you want, but I don't know how that conversation is going to be one-sided. But we can talk about whatever you want. So the phone lines are open. But I am going to start the conversation with Jalen Hurts. And again, it's not the old-fashioned usual, is he elite or is he not elite? That's we're beyond that. That's a question. It's a conversation that's gone very tiresome, honestly. The question I do want to get into, is he the future? Is he the answer for the future of this franchise? And a lot of that has come up today around sports radio and on different sort of platforms that I've seen. People are calling that into question after we have sort of revealed or went over some of the performances of him, and especially, and everyone seems to be drawn like a moth to a light about the final drive of the season. I asked Mike Papernick on this program last night. I said, Mike, when the Eagles got the ball at the end of the game, trailing 23-19, did you have faith and confidence that they would win the football game? Or I said, did they have confidence? He said, no, he had hope. And I think every Eagle fan had the same sort of feeling in their gut. It's over, right? There's no way they're going to march the field and score a touchdown. There's just no way they're going to do it. So for a team that used to be the defending Super Bowl champions, for a team that allegedly was led by an elite quarterback that has, what does Al call it? Yes, the it factor, whatever the hell that it is. He has the it factor. But for a quarterback that allegedly has that it factor, why was there such lack of confidence? And now I could ask this question to a million Eagles fans out there about that final drive. Maybe I get the truth. Maybe I don't get the truth. But I guarantee you the majority of them deep down felt the same way the rest of us did by having no confidence in the offense. Now, whether or not that confidence, you didn't have the confidence of Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Kevin Petula, Nick Sirianni, whatever, whoever you didn't have confidence in, it's all intertwined, in my opinion. You didn't have the confidence in the offense, an offense that cost the Eagles $200 million, an offense that was predicated or built on the it factor of its starting quarterback. Is this what we need going forward? Is the offensive coordinator change, which will happen, going to change that? Or is it the same roadblocks that are going to await a new coordinator that the old coordinators had to deal with? I don't want to be a running quarterback. 1.1 average design run plays a game for Jalen Hurts 2025. Down from 3.6 in 2024. I don't want to be a running quarterback. The inability to see a defense and read a defense fast enough to throw the football consistently over the middle of the field. 8.9% of Jalen Hurts, he completed out of his almost 500 attempted passes during a regular season. He completed 51 of them to the middle of the field for less than 10% effective in that category. So essentially, you're telling me that you're, again, and please forgive me, your elite quarterback doesn't throw the football to the middle of the field. He throws it to the sidelines all the time. How long does it take a defense to figure that out? How long does it take a defense to understand that they don't have to worry about the middle of the field? One of the big selling points going into the 49er game was we can take advantage of the six-string Niner linebackers. How? We don't throw the ball to the middle of the field. How are we going to take advantage of that? Saquon Barkley been stuck in neutral all season. Don't have to really rely on a second level of tacklers there. And Jalen Hurts doesn't throw the football to the middle of the field. I don't understand why there was such surprise and why there was such confidence that we could exploit a weak 49er defense. How? When we only use the sidelines. I want to go over something with you real quick, and then I'll get to your calls. I promise. Real quick. This is the scoring output in the second halves of football games in 2025 for the Eagles. Are you ready? 3 points in week 1 against Dallas. 10 points week 2 against Kansas City. 26 points, the season high, against the Rams in week 3. And, of course, that was offset by 7 points in the first half, right? That was that game. Then we follow that up with 7 points against the Buccaneers in the second half. Follow that up with 7 points against the Broncos. You follow that up with no points against the Giants in the first Giants game. You come out with like a barn buster, 14 points against the Vikings, 17 points in the second Giants game, 10 points against Green Bay, 3 points against Detroit, no points against the Cowboys in the second Dallas game, 12 points against the Bears on Black Friday, 13 points against the Chargers, 14 points against the Raiders, which that was probably their best game, their most complete game of the season. 22 points against the Commanders in the first Commanders game, which, just shy of the season high. No points against the Bills, and 10 points against the Commanders in the season finale, and of course 6 points against the 49ers on Saturday. Now, there is an argument to be made that there's no adjustments being made by the offensive coordinator. 100%, there's an argument. But there's also an argument to be made that why that adjustment's not being made. What's the problem? What's the limitation? What's the friggin' issue about making those adjustments? It just can't be because I don't want to make them. There's something holding back the offense of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm telling you, for 18, 19 weeks, whatever, 18 games, 19 weeks, we saw the same friggin' offense game after game after game. Why? That's the question I want to know. Is it unfair to say it's the quarterback's limitations? Is it unfair to say that based on some of the numbers that I gave you, by completing less than 10% of his passes to the middle of the field, by only having 1.1 plays of design running for him a game, there's something going on in the quarterback room. The quarterback is being a little bit obtuse maybe about wanting to run an offense that predicates his skill set. Is this the man you want leading the Philadelphia Eagles and getting more money from the Philadelphia Eagles in the future? Because just like the conversation that I heard today relentlessly about favoring keeping Nick Sirianni on, what was it? He won the Super Bowl. Okay. He was a passenger on the bus that won the Super Bowl, along with Jalen Hurts. Driving the bus that won that Super Bowl was the Eagle defense and Saquon Barkley. The rest of them were just passengers. The offensive line was maybe, they were the mechanics, right, of the bus. But everybody else was just sitting on that thing. So the same argument I'm going to throw back at their Hurts huggers, I'm going to throw back at those people that think the life will not continue on in Philadelphia without Jalen Hurts. Is this the guy you want leading your football team into the future with all the limitations? And can another offensive coordinator, which will happen, can he work with Hurts? And can he unlock Hurts if Hurts doesn't want to be unlocked? Great questions. Joe Hale joins us on the program. Joe, what's up?
How are you? Jalen sucks. I want him gone.
Good.
I want Nick Sirianni gone. I said to Mike yesterday, Dallas Goedert leaves. AJ Brown's gone. Lane Johnson needs to retire. You have to get younger before you get better. A lot of people will criticize Nick Sirianni, and they should. He sucks as a play caller. Petula sucks. But who do you get? I'm saying Gruden won't come here. Gruden and Harbaugh won't come here because of Lori and dumbass Howie Roseman.
Great question. And that's I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've worked all this out. Stefanski obviously is being kind of thrown out there. He's an offensive-minded head coach. He could come and he would bring his own offensive coordinator with him, and they would run the offense collectively. Listen, this CEO nonsense, and I don't care that certain percentage of the NFL head coaches are CEO head coaches. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You got to be somewhat tied to one half of the team. You got to be either involved in the defense or the offense. You're the friggin' head coach. You got to be some sort of innovator involved in all that. So I don't want another CEO head coach. I want someone that's coming from either a offensive background or a defensive background to become the new head coach. I want an actual friggin' coach. I don't want, listen, what Sirianni did yesterday with A.J. Brown was completely embarrassing. Completely embarrassing, running him down like that and yelling at him. Listen, this is the NFL. It's not Pop Warner, man. All right. We all know what you're just finding out now that AJ Brown's a diva. That you is this something like a newsflash to you, Sirianni? Come on. And I think honestly, AJ Brown quit on the Eagles after that. I think he said to hell with it. I'm done. He was embarrassed in front of national TV. I think he said I'm done.
Would you bring in Mike McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, as a head coach?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would.
So I'm going to
I
give
would.
you some breaking Phillies news. They're still talking. Bo Bichette is in Philly. Everybody thought it was a Zoom meeting. He's in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
He said no to Boston last night. Boston called his agent. I don't know who his agent is. No,
Are you hanging out in the hotel room with him, Joe?
no. Who was it? Zach Fritz is reporting that they're going to get the deal done 10 years. But he's
Give me a number.
Sure. 300
Oh, you
million.
don't know the number? Okay.
And there
10 years, 300?
Yes.
What's that? 30 million a year?
Yes.
No, that's 3 million a year. Something like that, 30 million a year. I'll do it. The hell with it. I'll do it.
Also, I heard a report. Nobody's been talking at JT. JT's blowing people off.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That the actual market for JT is done. Like there's no interest in him. Yeah, I've heard that. Maybe they can bring it back for cheap. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard if they sign Bichette, they can bring JT on a 2-year deal, really, really cheap. And that stops your catching. But you did say Aiden Miller. You trade Stott and Castellanos. You would have to.
All right, Joe. No one's taking Castellanos. I don't care if I package him with Aiden Miller, a young Ken Griffey Jr., Nick Kurtz. No one's taking that $18 million for 1 year. No one is. Nobody is.
Half for the money.
I don't want to pay half of it. If the Phillies wanted to pay half of it, he'd already be off the team right now. I'm telling you, the Phillies are going to hold on to him because they don't want to pay the money. And I don't necessarily blame that. They'll trade him, but no one's taking him. Maybe he has a great motivated first half. They can move him at the deadline. That would be cool. But no one's taking that money, Joe. It's just not happening. And they'd have to cut him. And I don't think they want to eat that money.
Correct. When do we find out who gets in the Baseball Hall of Fame? I just saw who's on it.
Like next Tuesday, I think it comes out.
I wish the fans could vote.
Yeah,
I think
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think Utley's going to get in, and Boston's going to get in.
I hope Utley and Rollins both get in. I want to see Utley. Listen, as cool as this summer setting up for Philadelphia in baseball with the All-Star game and all that, draft, futures game, all that here, WBC, all that. Throw in a Hall of Fame enshrinement for Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins up at Cooperstown, and then a number retirement ceremony on alumni weekend. I mean, that's amazing.
Does Cole Hamels ever get in, you think?
He's on the ballot right now. He might be a veteran. I don't know if Cole Hamels has got enough.
Would he be the veteran?
He would be if he does. So this is his first year on the actual ballot. If he doesn't garner 3% of the vote, he falls off the ballot and he has to come back through the Veterans Committee. But if he gets more than 3%, he stays on for next year. So we'll see.
I'm going to give you some breaking news, which I think is going to happen. Pete Rose is going to be reinstated.
He is reinstated.
I think he goes to the Hall of Fame.
Well, he is, but see, the thing is, and this is a fallacy too, Pete Rose's inductions to the Hall of Fame had nothing to do with his ban from MLB. Nothing. Two separate things. And it's not the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. It's the National Baseball Hall of Fame. It had nothing to do with it. He could have gone into the Hall of Fame at any time while he was alive. Absolutely could have. They weren't going to vote for him. And then he's fallen off the ballot because of that. Now, he's got to get brought in. I think there's a committee that meets every 5 years for players in his sort of situation that were banned by Major League Baseball and that never got their fair shake with the ballot because the writers weren't going to vote for them. I think that committee meets in like 3 years, and then his name might be put on it along with shoeless Joe Jackson. So they may get in.
Does he go in as a Red or as a Philly?
Oh, he's dead, Joe. I don't know how I don't know how he's going to go in. I would imagine a Red. I mean, that's really the bulk of his career was with.
Okay.
Yeah. But anything else, Joe? You got a quick show tonight?
No, because I like the card reviews. How you do that?
I know. We'll get to it again. I know I haven't done it in a while. It's a lot of things going on. I'm going to try to do it tonight. It's a good one. Well, it's not really a good one. I like the card, but we'll do it. We'll do it tonight, Joe. All right.
Yep.
All right, Joe. Oh yes. So that would be a great summer. hosting the All-Star game, the draft, futures game, the MLB experience because of the Hall of Fame or the All-Star week, America's 250th birthday. And then you can get Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, both or any one of them into the Hall of Fame. And then on Alumni Week, you do a number retirement for whoever gets in. It'd be a great summer. It'd be an absolute great summer in Philadelphia. So I'll be on hand. Will Michael Kaepernick be on hand to watch Chase Utley have his number retired? Kaepernick, you there? Kaepernick. Mike Kaepernick. One more call. No, Mike's not there. Mike, you there? All right, Mike, I'm going to put you backstage. Let me know when you're ready. All right. So, yeah, as far as the Phillies go, Bo Bichette, Joe's saying that they're still meeting. I don't know. Maybe they are. And I knew it was a Zoom meeting. It was a Zoom meeting. This is their actual second meeting. The Zoom meeting was last week. This is the actual face-to-face in Philadelphia. Maybe they're going to burn the midnight oil. They get a contract done, right? Maybe that's what this is all about. 10 years. 300 million? Is that what Joe said? I do it. But it does create a domino effect. There's no use in holding on to Aiden Miller anymore. There really isn't. You got to move him for a couple reasons. Reason one, he's not going to be able to play in 2026, right? He's going to sit in the minor leagues. And reason number two, he's probably not going to play to the end of 2027. So you have 2 years of Aiden Miller being blocked. And that's assuming you trade Bohm to make room for Bichette. Stott's still going to be under. So I don't think Stott gets traded because, again, the Eagles, the Phillies have Stott on the cheap through 2027 when he hits the open market. They're going to stick. They're going to stick with him. So Aiden Miller is essentially going to get blocked for 2 years. Why wait? Aiden Miller's stock is pretty high. He's the number 2 prospect in the Phillies system. I think he's like 10 or 12 in all of baseball. Make a move now. Pick up a pitcher. Pick up another impact bat. Pick up something. Maybe pick up a catching prospect. Move Aiden Miller for a position of need. And this is coming from me, who I like to hold on to their prospects, man. I do not like trading minor league players. I hate it. I'm all about building from within. But if you sign Bichette, there's no use in keeping Miller here. Trade him while his value is highest. And that's right now. That's in the unknown of right now. So I just don't see any other way through it. And I hope the Phillies do that. I hope they don't hold on to him and let him sit there for 2 years in the minor leagues. But hopefully the Bo Bichette news breaks at some point real soon. That would be great. Now back to the Eagles. And like I mentioned to Joe Hale, the A.J. Brown situation. Again, I'm advocating for the removal of A.J. Brown as well. And after the game last night, he ran out, didn't talk to the media, didn't want to be interviewed. Obviously, I think he was sending a message. This was a captain, by the way. Do you guys know that? He was a captain for the Eagles. I mean, what the hell is going on, man? Orion Kerkering, and this was something that I found very interesting too. Remember Orion Kerkering? Remember that name, Phillies fans? Remember what happened to him? Essentially being accused of letting the entire Dodger series go up in flames. You know what Orion Kerkering did after that game? Well, one of the things he did after that game, he stood at his locker room stall and he took questions from the media like a man. He answered for what happened. He was available to be interviewed. A.J. Brown ran off into the night. Ran off like a coward, and he's a captain. I just don't understand. You jump into bed with the devil, you sleep with the devil. And the Eagles knew what they were getting into with A.J. Brown. And they turned a blind eye for years. I really believe, and I'm not advocating what happened. Nick Sirianni's a buffoon. Take a word from Michael Kaepernick. Sirianni's a clown. He's an idiot. But to kind of run your star wide receiver down on the sideline and chastise him on national television, whatever, if you're justified or not justified, I'd quit too. I'm like, screw you, Nick. Going out there anymore. The hell with this. I'm going to get paid either way. For who? For what? Motherfucker. So, A.J. Brown's got to go, man. He's got to go. And again, Orion Kirkering, after essentially being accused of blowing the entire Phillies season, stood there like a man in his locker and took questions from the media. A.J. Brown ran off into the night like a little girl. Let that soak in there, Eagles fans. That was a captain of your team. One of the captains of the Philadelphia Eagles. Hypocrisy at its finest. Right, Mike?
Yeah, man. I just had to jump on here with you. I didn't get a chance to hear you last night, Matty. I know it must have been liquid gold for you last night. I know it hurt. I know it hurt to say some of the things that you said. But, yeah, I don't care. AJ can run his ass right to New England. He can go back to being with Mike Vrabel and go be up there. I saw a wide receiver who mouthed off all year and said, throw me the ball, throw me the ball. And when they threw him the ball, he couldn't catch.
And that's and again, I'm not condoning Nick Sirianni's behavior either. You don't do that. You don't, man. I don't care about your emotions and all that. I come on, man. These are grown men, right? If you want to send a message, then bench his ass. You don't got to do all the theatrics on the sideline, right?
Let me ask you a question. I want to ask you why I'm on your show here. Like, do you really think that there's a possibility that they get rid of Sirianni?
I do. I hope they do. Mike, let's look at this from a collective point. Let's look at this from a middle road aspect of it all. I went early in the show. I don't know if you heard. I went through the point productions for this football team in the second half. I think they scored over 26 points was the most they ever scored in 1 point in the second half all season. And they scored, I think, 20 again against the Commanders a little bit later on in the year. I want to ask you this: what does Nick Sirianni do for the Philadelphia Eagles? I want you to run it out for me. What you think he does?
He's a CEO coach.
Okay, what is that? What the hell is that?
He doesn't call offense. He doesn't call defense.
I could do that, Mike. I could stand on the sidelines and yell at A.J. Brown too.
You could. And here's the thing: I don't get it. Like, this guy supposedly was offense, but we saw this in 2021, if you remember, right? If you remember Jalen's first year as a starter under Sirianni, right? They had to change the philosophy because they couldn't run Sirianni's offense with Jalen Hurts. Then it was a rookie. All I'm going to say is this. It's partly blame on the coaching, but it's also half blame on the players too. Like, I'm sorry, you got a $200 million offensive payroll. You really need somebody to draw plays and figure out how to get it up, to get you open. And I thought they really missed a boat yesterday with not featuring Dallas Goedert. Yesterday should have been a Dallas Goedert game, and he didn't. They did not stick with that formula.
Yeah, but Mike, here's the thing again, and let's now. You mentioned the players. Let's talk Jalen Hurts, and I'm not going down the same tired story of is he elite quarterback. That's not the argument or the discussion I want to have. The discussion I want to have is threefold, and the main part of the discussion is this. Is Jalen Hurts the quarterback of the future? Is he the guy that's going to take the Eagles where they got to be in the future? Based on the fact that he's due for an extension, he's due to get paid again. Is this the guy you want to be floating more money into? Because I want to ask you, you mentioned Dallas Goedert. Jalen Hurts doesn't throw the football to the middle of the field. Why should the 49ers be concerned about Dallas Goedert? Why should the 49ers also be concerned about going after the Eagles with 5th, 6th string linebackers when the Eagles don't attack the middle of the field? Jalen Hurts completed 8.6% of his passes to the middle of the field this year. 8.6. Less than 10% of his completions were to the middle of the field. Why should you be concerned about that? And I'm going to ask you this personally. When the Eagles got the ball for the final drive of that game, did you have confidence they were actually going to do it?
Did you watch my post game yesterday?
Yes.
I said I had no. I literally listen. They scored the opening touchdown of the game. I literally turned, looked at my wife, and said, "This game is over." And she said, "Are you kidding me? The game just started." I said, "That defense allowed them to go down the field. Our two best corners got smoked on this." I said, "This is not their day." I had no faith that he was going to win that game. I thought for sure there was an interception coming.
So, and also, Jalen Hurts is one of his best attributes is his legs. The Eagles averaged 1.1 design run plays per game for Jalen Hurts in 2025. 1.1 plays a game were design runs. Last year it was close to 4 a game. The year before that, around 4 a game. Is this the quarterback? Is this the guy that the Eagles should, with all these limitations, whether or not they're self-imposed by Jalen or they're self-imposed by the offensive coordinator? And if a new coordinator comes in here, can he work with Jalen Hurts with all these friggin' limitations?
Yeah, Jalen's going to have to learn to start throwing the ball in the middle and trusting his guys. And I think there's a big issue there with that. I think that's why he doesn't throw the ball over the middle. Because when you look, anytime he throws the ball over the middle, it gets picked. And you know, I'm sorry, but, you know, I always liked Hurts because I watched him in college and I watched him evolve from college. Okay. But it just seems like now he's hit a plateau. Like, to me, it doesn't seem like he's getting better.
He's hit the plateau and the NFL has caught up to him because you got to keep evolving in the NFL unless you're a Tom Brady or a Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you know, just like, you know, I feel like with Hurts, honestly, he's going to have to try to change his game a little bit. And I'm sorry, like, where were the rollouts this year? There was no getting him out of the pocket.
Well, he got out of the pocket last night and then threw the ball out of bounds. That's what he got out of the pocket last night.
Listen, it's a lot better than 5 years ago when he was rolling out and throwing it to the other team. So, I mean,
I guess he's improving.
Yes, he is. But I have this thing. I just have this weird sense that Sirianni is going to try and stick up for his guy, and I think they're both going to be unemployed. I think it's going to be a Doug Peterson all over again.
And that'd be okay with me. I want a head coach. I want a coach. I want a guy that's either tied to the offense or the defense in some way. I want someone like that. I don't care if you promote Fangio, bring him down, make him the coach, whatever. I don't care. Just have Fangio go out and hire Stefanski as the offensive coordinator.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Me and Mike Papernick were talking earlier today, and Mike actually said it to me. He goes, "We need an offensive Vic Fangio. We need a guy who's going to come in and say, I got this offense. I'm going to run the offense.
That's Stefanski. That's Kevin Stefanski.
But let me ask you a question. Do you think he would flourish here, Stefanski?
Why? Because he couldn't flourish in Cleveland? I mean, come on, Mike. This is a good roster. These are good players.
It is. But, again, I mean, I'm a little trepidatious with that. Now, if it's Matt LaFleur from Green Bay, yeah, I'll let him come run it. If it's Mike McDaniel from Miami, even though Miami, he was a horrible head coach, you saw the creativity in their plays.
Yeah.
They just had Tua throwing the ball, and Tua's got like a brain like mush.
But here's the thing, though, with all these head coaches that were these recent head coaches that just lost their jobs, don't forget they've had a scheme against Jalen Hurts at some point in their tenures with their former teams. They also have ears and people talk in the NFL in those closed circles. Do they want to come here and deal with Jalen Hurts?
Well, listen, it's pretty clear. If you come here and let's just say they give Fangio the head coaching job, right? And I'll use Todd Monken for an example, guy who used to be out of Baltimore. Monken's going to come in and say, dude, this is my offense. This is what we're running. Either you get on board. I mean, he goes back to he can go right back and go, listen, this dude's not capable of learning this. So, I mean, if that's the only way you can really kind of get around that. I mean, they're tied into him. So you're going to get at least 2 more years of Jalen. So, I mean, me personally, I would love for them to get Todd Monken here because I think Monken, he can grow with Monken because Monken's not going to go become a head coach. He's like Fangio in the sense of the word. And He runs a pretty decent offense. He likes to run the ball. Mostly, though, I will be honest with you, it's a very favorable tight end offense that he runs. If you take a look, he was in Baltimore for a while. Mark Andrews became legendary in his offense.
Well, we don't throw the ball to the middle of the field in Philadelphia, man. So I don't know what we're going to do. Someone's going to have to teach this guy how to throw. Again, it's not the tired conversation of whether he's elite or not elite. It's now evolved into a different conversation. Is this the type of quarterback and the baggage he has that we really want to continue on with? And can he continue to get better? Because you said he plateaued. And again, you know, everybody throws, well, Hurts won the Super Bowl. No, he did not. The Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. And yes, Hurts was kind of on the ride, just like everybody else was, except for the defense and Saquon Barkley, the true winners of that Super Bowl. So I'm not hearing that. I don't want to hear that. Same thing with Sirianni. Sirianni was riding that bus too. If you take away the contributions of Jalen Hurts in 2024, but you still have the defense and Saquon Barkley, I think they still win the Super Bowl hands down. You take away Sirianni off the sideline in 2024, and you put me there, we win the Super Bowl hands down. So they were not key contributors to that Super Bowl win. I think they're very replaceable, and I think in a lot of ways they're holding this team down, this franchise down, this organization down, and I would not be upset if Sirianni got fired. Now, you're right. They're not moving off of Hurts unless they trade him. He's got a no-trade clause, so I don't know if maybe he'd waive it to get the hell out of here. But feasibly, it's more realistic in a realm of unrealisticness to get rid of Sirianni than it is Hurts. So, you got to pick your poison there. Yeah, fire the head coach. This guy, again, the same question with Sirianni with Hurts. Is Sirianni really is this what we need right now? Is this the kind of guy we need taking this team forward when you have all these young, innovative coaches now coming out and starting to light it up? Is a CEO, head coach, cheerleader what we need?
Well, again, you have to take a look at upper management there. You know what I mean? Is he just a yes man? Is he just a yes man?
Big thing too.
Is he just a yes sir for Howie?
Well, that's all he is. Of course.
So I mean, if that's the case, then Howie's got to put some of his bravado aside too. You build the team, hire the coach, but if you're going to hire the coach, hire a coach that's going to that is going to win you multiple championships. Bring a guy in. Like you said, I would be real shocked. I have a strange, overwhelming feeling that LaFleur is going to get canned in Green Bay. I don't know why. Something's just telling me they're going to get him out of there. And I think he'll be highly sought after, but I don't think he'll be as sought after as the other two. So again, it all depends really where they want to go, because like I said, you have all these different guys. You have some retreads like Nagy and Flores that's out there that are going to be trying to go and get a head coaching gig. But I would definitely I wouldn't be opposed to Stefanski being the head coach. I think you're right about that. Like, he was in Cleveland. How much did they really kind of build a team up for him?
They didn't.
To come, right.
It's a disaster.
I mean, he got to the playoffs twice in his tenure there, which is kind of like winning 2 Super Bowls.
So we're going to be a dynasty here if he's here. You know what I mean? So, no, I think that absolutely. And again, I know people have been throwing that out too. Well, he failed in Cleveland. Well, yeah, so would friggin' Vince Lombardi. He would fail in Cleveland too. I mean, come on. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, they're talking about promoting Jim Schwartz as their next head coach.
Yeah, have at it, man.
I heard that. I said, man, you guys are trying to build a new stadium over there. I said, you're going to have Jim Schwartz as your head coach. Good luck filling that thing.
Yeah. All right, man. So you're going to do some clear the ice here? Another loss tonight for the Flyers?
12 goals to the Lightning here.
And what? 3 to the Flyers? Yeah. All right, Mike. Well, everybody, listen, we're going to wrap this up. Mike's going to hop over on Clear the Ice, so make sure you guys are tuning in for some great Flyer postgame, Mike. Good talking with you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Matty, for letting me jump on here and get my brain out about the Birds. But, yeah, you were right, man. So I got to give you your kudos.
Thank you. You're the first. He's the first one to come and actually accept that. I appreciate that. That's the man. Now I'm looking for that weasel Big Al. I'm waiting for you, Al. That's right. Waiting for you. The invitation's open. The ring is out, ready to be kissed. Let's do it. Let's try this one more time. Papernick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, Papernick, I had you on earlier. I couldn't hear you.
No, my mic was off. This is my son's microphone, and I didn't know the button was down on it. Yeah, but real fast, are we really going to sign Bichette for $300 million for another 10-year non-trade? Now again, he's 26. I have no problem with the age.
Okay.
Harper. I'm going to go down the list. Harper, Turner, Wheeler, Castellanos, Schwarber. What do they all have in common? $100 million. No, these are guys free agents. These are free agents to be brought in. $100 million or more that we We paid.
Yeah.
What if we won? We could take that money and go sign Ranger Suarez. We could sign Bader and JT if they're going to give that contract out.
We've won the filling seats up on a Tuesday night in August at Citizen Bank Park. That's what we've won, Kaepernick.
The problem is, where's he going to play? What position? I'm telling you, he's our new left fielder or center field. I'm telling you.
This is what they'll do. This is what they'll do.
Nope.
They'll move if they're gonna if nobody's getting moved and they bring Bichette, they're gonna have to move Bohm to first and Harper back to right. There's no other way around that.
I've been saying that, but I don't think so. I bet you Bichette's in left field.
I don't know. Okay,
now to get to the Eagles. That guy's a glorified effing cheerleader. That's all he does. Matty, go through every coach in the NFL. He's the only one who can't call plays on either side of the ball. The only head coach who can't.
I agree.
So
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Now, here's the thing. We all knew Jalen couldn't. He don't go through his progressions fast at all. It's been like that his whole career. He don't. Okay, but I've been saying that. Look, I put it on the coaching staff. I put it on the players. Now, you got all these guys making millions and millions of dollars. They supposedly Brown and Smith are top 5, and they can't get open.
Yeah.
I mean,
or can they get open and Jalen can't see them open? That again, I have to sit back and watch tape. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right either. I'm saying
this is on all of them. He's slow. Jalen is real slow on his progressions.
Yeah, and maybe he's missing that nanosecond of opportunity to get that ball out. And Kaepernick, it's a you mentioned the cheerleader thing. I don't like AJ Brown. I think he's the cancer. He's a captain. That's a goddamn disgrace that he's a captain of this team. I mentioned Ryan Kirkering. When Kirkering got blamed for blowing the season, he stood at his locker stall and took questions from the media all night long. Jalen Hurts ran out in the middle of the night to avoid questions. Now, I don't know. In my book, a man stays there and takes the medicine of what happened.
I'm with you on that, but everybody handled things differently. I mean, that's all.
AJ Brown's the captain of this team.
Yes, he is. He should have stood there. He could have just went there and said, "Look, no comment. Right. Another day." Yeah. Now, what Sirianni did, he pulled his inner Mike Singletary out and thought he could run after him like he did Vernon Davis and put him in the locker room. I mean, this guy's look. You came up with the buffoon word. That guy is buffoon, bumbling, and every other word you can think for an ept.
Do you think AJ Brown? Do you think AJ Brown quit after that?
Oh, AJ Brown quit weeks ago.
But do you think he honestly, after that incident, was like, "What am I doing? For who? For what? What am I doing this for?"
I don't know if he quit, but I think his. I don't think his head was in it.
Yeah.
I mean I think it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Put it like this: Jeffrey Lurie should be embarrassed. What just happened on the sideline for the guy running down the sideline?
Yep.
Running down the sideline.
Yelling at one of his players.
I mean, it would have been great TV if AJ punched him in the mouth. That would have been great TV.
That's another thing. I'm tired of seeing a personal bodyguard having to be on the sidelines. Nick Sirianni and this fat Dom stuff. Get him the hell out too. This is crazy what we got going on here, man. It's a bad culture. It's a bad situation. I want a football coach, Mike. A football
that's
coach.
What I want. I want John Harbaugh. Listen, everybody wants Stefanski. Here's the problem. And Monken, that's what you need. Because if you get Stefanski in here and they have a fabulous year next year, he's gone. And plus,
that's the problem.
Now remember this, he's Ed's son.
Yep.
That's okay. So is this a process too for the Eagles? Is this going to be the process?
That's why you should go ahead and fire Sirianni and hire Stefanski as the head coach.
No, Harbaugh. I hire Harbaugh. I wouldn't blink an eye. I wouldn't blink an eye. I would not blink an eye. You bring John Harbaugh here. He'll bring in. Listen, he won a Super Bowl. He's got Lamar. They gave him what? The running back. He had all that, and that was to beat the Chiefs and control the ball, and they still couldn't do it. Just like the stinking Bills, they can't beat the Chiefs. Neither of them teams can beat the Chiefs at all, no matter what. But Harbaugh should be He has to come here. I don't want Stefanski as a head coach. Here's my reasoning. He 1 year, and I get he had nothing much out there, but because he got a team to the playoffs 2 years in a row, okay, whoop-de-doo. He did. Brian Flores got the screw job up in Miami. Why didn't he become the head coach of the Eagles?
At this point, I don't care. I just want a coach. I don't want a CEO. I want a coach.
Here's the thing. This is just like Bruce Bochy out there, and the Phillies. We're going to go with this guy. You got a guy sitting there. I guarantee if Jeffrey Lurie called him, he'd take the job 5 minutes later.
Who?
Harbaugh. If Jeffrey Lurie called him personally, he would take that job. Remember, he was here at Andy. He was a special teams coach and went out there.
Yeah. 18 years ago.
Wasn't he the first Andy off the tree of Andy to win a Super Bowl?
He was. Yeah.
I mean, he's there. He's there for the taking. He's there. And I get the yes man thing. I do.
That's a big thing that I don't think not many people are talking about. There is that factor of dealing with Howie Roseman.
Now, I get that part, but I think a guy like John Harbaugh can do that, can handle that. I think where Sirianni just don't have it, to do that because he wants a job.
Yeah.
He knows if he gets. I'll put to you like this: if Nick Sirianni got fired. If one NFL owner thought that guy had any brains to run another team, they should just be throwing out football.
That was a point that I heard today that Nick Sirianni would be a hot property if they fired him.
Oh, it's just like Kevin Batul would be a hot property. What? Because of the limitations he had on that Jalen had, and he could run a football team. Neither one could create a tic-tac-toe game together or make a sandwich. I'm telling you. These guys, those two together, and then you add Jalen and AJ, and they're hating each other on the field. People didn't see this 3 months ago. I mean, why do you think he got the ball from the Dallas game, the Bears game, the Chargers? Oh, what do they all have in common? AJ got over 100 yards, and they all lost every game. And AJ didn't cry one time because AJ don't want to be here. He talks about New England. He talks about New England all the time. Send them to the Raiders. Bump New England.
Send them to the Raiders for Max Crosby in their first round draft pick.
No, well, maybe not Max. If we can't get Crosby, get the tight end. Get one of their tight ends. Run it them. Whatever one they got two good ones. Bring them here. We'll take them. I mean, get this guy out of here. Now, I don't think. Now, I'm going to say this. I like Devontae Smith. He's had his chances of one receiver. I think he's a that's two. That's it right there.
There's nothing wrong with that. He's a very good receiver.
Yes, I don't have no problem with Devontae because he for weighing 110 pounds at 6'3" or whatever, he fights for that ball. He jumps as high and he gets that. I'm telling you, AJ Brown quit months ago. He quit. Him and Jalen ain't
puts his head down, goes to work. He doesn't say anything. Devontae's not a distraction. He does his job and that's it. And that's what I want too.
When you hear on a constant basis, oh, me and Jalen or Jalen and AJ, oh, we're getting along, but no, that's telling me you're not getting along. You don't have to announce it to tell people you're getting along. It just happened organically. When it don't happen organically no more, you got to be a blind man. A blind man with a seeing eye dog can see it. Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous with this team. And you know what? Look, I like Howie. This year falls on Howie. This all falls on Howie. And then it falls on Lurie because Lurie, I mean, I got two eyes. And I tell people all the time, the eyes never lie. The eyes never lie. An eye test will never lie. And what you see on that field, Patullo stinks. Sirianni stinks. The quarterback, when they trade Brown, they should gauge the interest of Jalen Hurts to the NFL and see what they can get for him. That's what they should be doing. Cleveland has 2 first-round picks. Maybe we can pop one.
So Jalen has a no trade clause. He's got a no trade clause. He's not going to go to Cleveland.
Well, maybe. I don't know if the NFL pulls off 3-way trades, but you got to get creative with this.
Absolutely. I agree. Let's make it happen.
Look, Mike said the right thing when he said, you don't see any movement on this offense. That's not on Jalen.
No, that's not on Jalen. Is it though, Mike? That's what I want to know.
No, it's on Patullo.
Hang on. But why are they so bland and vanilla? And why after game, week after week, they never changed? What's the reasoning? I want to know. It just ain't because you think it's going to work eventually. There's something that was holding back the Eagle offense, not just with Patullo, but with the others as well. All the other offensive coordinators. There's something holding them back.
It does fall on Jalen. Don't get me wrong. Jalen's best year was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
22.
And, okay. All right. And whatever Steichen unlocked then got lost the year Johnson took over. And I've been saying this too. Jalen, go see a sports psychiatrist. This is just like Markel Fultz and Ben Simmons, Chuck Knobloch, he has some type of yips between his ears. Something's not there. It's something between his ears, and he has to go. He should go talk. Greg Maddox talked to a sports psychologist. Go talk to one, man. Because I'm telling you, you just don't forget how to do this stuff. Not that level. And to me, this has got Carson Wentz starting to rip writing all over, where they're getting weak between the ears and they can't handle it.
Good point, Kaepernick.
And that shit, boom. But Matty, here, you have a good night, and I'll see, when are you back on again?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
All right, I'll be here.
All right, Michael Kaepernick spewing the truth again. Listen, it is on Jalen. That's my overarching argument with all of this. I sat up here and I've sat up here all season long and I said over and over again, Kevin Patullo is not standing on the Eagles sideline for as incompetent as he is, but he's not standing on the Eagles sideline twisting his handlebar mustache, throwing banana peels in front of the old folks home. He's not doing it to be evil. He's not running the same thing over and over again to be evil, right? There's a reason why they never got creative. Now, I don't know if that's the reason. The reason is Jalen Hurts. I don't know that. But again, mama didn't raise no fool. This ain't the first time that we've had limitations with our quarterback. That's why they went run heavy in 24, because of the limitations with the passing game coming out of the 23 season and into 24. That's why they switched, because it wasn't working. Kellen Moore's offense wasn't working with Jalen Hurts as the focal point. So they switched it to a run-heavy offensive attack, and then a Super Bowl silver later, it worked. Everyone goes back to 22. Jalen Hurts' truly remarkable season, right? Carson Wentz had one of those too. And I'm going to credit the same thing that I obviously credited with the Carson Wentz success in 17, is that you talk about the sophomore jinx, right? When they go to the sophomore slump. Well, sometimes it works in reverse. Jalen Hurts was relatively a new thing in the NFL in 2022. Defenses hadn't figured him out yet, and he was a little bit more open to moving on, to throwing on the move and being creative with himself. Then something happened. So firing Kevin Patullo, 100%. I agree. Fire Nick Sirianni, 100%. I agree. But it ain't going to make a hell in a handbasket difference if the new regime comes in here and has to deal with the limitations from Jalen Hurts about, I won't do this, I'm not going to do that, I can't read a defense, I can't thread a ball down the middle of the field into a tight window. That's not going to work. I don't care who you bring in here. It might be time to move on from the quarterback because he's just not what we need. And yes, I'm looking for a tangible thing. I'm looking for a quarterback who throws the football down the middle of the field more than 50 times a season. Or I say completes more than 50 completions a season down the middle of the field. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a quarterback who's a natural mobile quarterback to actually use that to his advantage, other than only having 1.1 run plays called for him per game. I'm not looking for the it factor. Whatever voodoo magic that is, Al, I don't care about the damn it factor. I want mechanics. Right? That's what I want. a mechanically sound quarterback. Jalen Hurts isn't that. But he's got the it factor. I ain't going to let that go either, man. I love that. I love that. It. What is it? Can't throw the ball down the middle of the field? Doesn't want to run? What is it? Can't read a defense? Can't go through his progressions? What is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. My bad. You got to cut the cure. This is an opportunity right now. This was a wasted season. An opportunity to build a dynasty was wasted. Are we going to waste another one? Are we going to waste another season with Sirianni and Hurts at the helm? Why not make the move now while you can? That's all I'm trying to say. Joe Hale's invoking the Rooney rule here. I agree. I understand. Well, Texans offense bad. I guess Star Wars reporting in from the game. Nick Sirianni say they keeping Kevin. We've already done this before with the Doug Peterson stuff. They got to meet with management on that one first, so more to follow on that whole thing. I see you back there, Ricky, but Ricky, I gotta go. I gotta cut it short. Mike is doing the post game, so I gotta hop off the airwaves. Ricky, I want you to be the first tomorrow to call in. Okay, you hear me? All right. I'm sorry, Ricky, but I do gotta go. But please, Ricky, I'm going to wait for you tomorrow. I'm not going to take any callers until you show up. Okay. Okay. All right, my man. Ricky Deal waiting backstage. I can't take him. So Ricky's first in the shoot tomorrow. I promise. So I'm putting all you on notice right now. Ricky is first. All right. That is going to wrap me up tonight. No card review tonight. No of the night segment. We will get back to it tomorrow. I promise. I promise. Tired of staring at this baseball card. So I'll get back to it tomorrow. Make sure you're tuned over to Mike Laro doing the post-game Flyers Lightning. I will talk to you guys tomorrow night. Take care and have a good night.